Hi, this presentation is a summary of Chapter 11 from Evaluation, a Systematic Approach by Rossi, Lipsey and Freeman, and the title of this chapter is Measuring Efficiency. Whether programs have been implemented successfully and the degree to which they are effective are at the heart of evaluation. However, it is just as critical to be informed about the cost of a program's outcomes and whether the benefits achieved justify those costs. In this chapter, we are provided with a synopsis of efficiency analyses, both cost-benefit and cost-effectiveness. Efficiency analyses have great value in that they force us to think beyond the benefits of a program to the costs as they are related to the benefits. Since nearly all social programs are conducted under resource constraints, maintaining support by policyholders and funders is almost always dependent upon this question: does the bottom line justify the program? There are two techniques that provide efficiency analysis. The first is a cost-benefit analysis in which outcomes of a program are expressed in monetary terms. For example, a cost-benefit analysis of a program to reduce cigarette smoking would focus on the difference between the dollars expended on the anti-smoking program and the dollar savings from reduced medical care for smoking-related diseases, days lost from work, and so on. The second technique to provide efficiency analysis is cost-effectiveness analysis, during which outcomes are expressed in substantive forms. Looking again at the program to reduce cigarette smoking, a cost-effectiveness analysis would estimate the dollars that had to be expended to convert each smoker into a non-smoker. Efficiency analyses can be conducted either during the planning and design of an initiative or after a program has been in place for a time. The former, called ex-ante efficiency analysis, is important to use for programs that will be difficult to abandon once they have been implemented or that require an abundance of funding and time. This analysis does, however, require that cost and outcomes of the program be anticipated prior to implementation. Using this analysis when a pilot or similar program has been implemented prior to the initiative, or for a program that is simple in its implementation, allows for confident estimates to be made. However, the issue of accuracy of the estimates of both inputs and outputs is a controversial area of ex-ante efficiency analysis. Most social programs actually do not undertake this analysis, which is unfortunate to the practicality of the action in cost-benefit or cost-effectiveness terms. Ex-post efficiency analysis, given after a program has been in place for some amount of time, is the more commonly used analysis with the purpose of assessing whether the costs of the intervention can be justified by the magnitude of the program effects. The focus of the assessment examine the efficiency of a program in absolute terms to judge if the program is worth what it costs, or in comparative terms, determining the payoff of one program versus another. And actually, the focus can be on both of those things as well. Now that an overview of the concepts of efficiency analysis have been communicated, let's look at how these analyses are actually conducted. Both cost-benefit and cost-effective analyses must assemble cost data. Useful sources for cost data include agency fiscal records. These include salaries of program personnel, things such as space rental, stipends paid to clients, supplies, maintenance costs, business services, and so on. Additionally, one might look at target cost estimates. These include inputted costs of time spent by clients in program activities, client transportation costs, and so on. Lastly is the cooperating agencies, looking at if a program includes activities of cooperating agencies such as a school, health clinic, or another government agency, the cost borne that can be attained from the cooperating agencies. Because a single program can be undertaken by several cost-benefit analysis, it's critical to set the mind of why conducting such analysis and what point of view should be the basis for specifying, measuring, and monetizing benefits and costs. Benefits and costs should be defined from a single perspective because mixing points of view cause confused specifications or double counting. Having different points of view does provide valuable information on how benefits compare to costs as they impact different stakeholders. There are three main accounting perspectives that may be used for analysis of social projects. Individual participants or targets, which are persons, groups, or organizations receiving the intervention or services. Cost-benefit analyses using individual target perspectives often produce higher benefit to cost results than other perspectives. Another perspective is program sponsor, which takes the perspective of funding source in valuing benefits and identifying cost factors. This perspective is used when the sponsor is confronted with a situation where they have to decide between alternative programs. The communal social, municipality, county, state, or nation takes the point of view of community or society, which makes it a comprehensive perspective, but more complex. Measuring, specifying, and evaluating costs and benefits and its procedures have two main problems. First, measuring and identifying all program costs and benefits. This program presents more an ex-ante measurement before implementing a program where limited data exist. The second problem is that many social programs are have difficulty expressing their costs and benefits in terms of a common denominator that allow them to translate them into monetary units. Such social programs don't produce results that can be valued accurately by means of market prices. Because of the advantages of analyzing benefits using monetary terms, there are 5 main approaches that have been identified for monetizing outcomes of benefits. Money measurements is the least controversial approach, which estimates direct monetary benefits. Another non-controversial approach is the market valuation, where the analyst values the benefits of a program based on market prices, such as house prices. Econometric estimation is preferable because the analyst uses refined multivariate techniques to account for other influences on a targeted variable. Hypothetical questions is a more problematic approach, which estimates the value of closely non-monetary benefits based on questioning targeted participants directly. Observing political choice is raised by the author to be a more tentative approach, where the analyst estimates benefits based on political action, such as state regulations. This approach is very risky because political choices are inconsistent and complex. In many programs, outputs can't be analyzed using monetary terms because they don't have market prices. However, they must be estimated. Here, shadow prices procedures come into place to provide these estimates and reflect real costs and benefits to society. Opportunity costs are used when resources are limited, which makes individuals and organizations choose from existing alternatives to allocate resources which affect the activities and goals of the program. The way to measure each choice is to measure the worth of foregone options. Secondary effects take into account the side effects or external factors that may be either beneficial or detrimental. In many social programs, the secondary effects that are likely are displacement and vacuum effect. For example, a training program may produce trained persons who then compete with existing workers and displace them while vacating their current jobs. Secondary effects are generally difficult to be defined and measured. However, they should be included into the cost-benefit calculations. Discounting is a method of efficiency analysis to account for the long-term costs and benefits that will occur in the future as outcomes derived from a certain program. Here, the evaluator must extrapolate into future to measure costs and benefits. This must be done by evaluators. Otherwise, the evaluation process will be restricted to a period of time for which actual program performance data are available. A known technique is discounting. It consists of reducing costs and benefits that are dispersed through time to a common monetary base by adjusting them to their present values. Evaluators choose a time period in which to base their analysis depending upon the nature of the program. A program will appear beneficial the longer the time horizon chosen. A final step in cost-benefit analysis is to compare total costs to total benefits. How to perform this comparison depends on the purpose of the analysis and the conventions of the particular sector. A common and simple way to compare costs to benefits is to subtract costs from the benefits. Based on this technique, some programs were terminated and some were continued. However, sometimes programs have negative values but are still important and should be continued. This approach is beneficial to compare the efficiency of different programs. Deciding when to perform ex post analysis depends on many factors. In some evaluation contexts, the technique is a simple, useful, and logical part of the evaluation, where in other, the approach rests on suspicious assumptions and lays into limited use. Many prerequisites are necessary for an ex post cost-benefit analysis of a program. They are that the program has independent or separable funding, which means that its costs can be separated from others incurred by the activities. Secondly, the program is beyond the developed state and has significant effects. Additionally, the program's impacts and the magnitude of that impact are known or can be validly estimated, and the benefits can be translated into monetary terms. Finally, decision makers are considering alternate programs rather than just simply whether or not to continue an existing project. Some evaluators became uneasy about directly comparing cost-benefit calculations when it comes to critical values that are simply not possible to have agreement on, such as family planning for health, housing, or educational programs. Cost-effectiveness analysis is generally viewed as an expansion of cost-benefit analysis to projects with measurable goals. It is based on the same principles, methods, assumptions, and procedures for measuring costs and benefits as cost-benefit analysis. This means that cost-effectiveness has the same concepts and methods used in the cost-benefit analysis. Some social programs are hard to evaluate using monetary terms, which allows cost-effectiveness analysis to evaluate goals and compare costs to similar programs in a condition of having similar goals and the same outcome measures. That concludes this summary of Chapter 11. I hope that you have gained additional insight regarding measuring efficiency. Thank you and have a great week.